Thinking about the word magic, I feel like there's a lot of different ways to look at that word. And to me, magic is a practice. It's something that's cultivated, and it's possibly an energy that exists in the world that we can all tap into. And so calling creativity this like energy that we all have access to makes sense. But when teaching these things or talking about these things in a class or a workshop setting, I'm always trying to kind of connect it to the logical way in or the logical understanding, just so that it could be a little more concrete and less abstract. And so magic as this concrete, tangible thing is this practice that I show up to every day and invite into my life. And so, whatever that looks like for each person, it will always be different. But for me, it's been a lifetime of like collecting these tools that sort of help me feel like I'm able to receive information from the outside world that then I can kind of spin into a poem, or this magic of being in this creative space where I then allow myself to write out this vision of the future I might have for myself or for others or for our society or however big you want to get. And then I think the action point of magic being this practice is that I return to it again and again to try to sort of bolster it up. And I ask myself, like, well, what could nurture that? What kind of things in my life do I need to adjust that would make that more accessible for me or more potent? And usually that is some sort of tool that's like either body, mind, or spirit related. And I think that, there's a plethora of those things that we have access to that people have studied for years and years and years and years. So another part of this practice and the idea of magic being this tool is that like people have laid out all of these explanations and definitions for how to use these tools. And I think the same goes for creativity. There's all these incredible books and teachers and guides who show us, like, here's where you tap into your creativity. So for me, I choose poetry as the route because that's what I usually use. So it's been the easiest for me to then give up and offer as a tool. So I wrote this book, Every Day is a Poem. And to me, that's like a magical toolkit. It's like this guide to tapping into what it is to be a poet in the world. And that doesn't even necessarily mean as a writer and with poetry on the page. It's more of like how to create this mindset and sort of embody this magic act of creating poetry just as a mindset and a way to kind of experience life. And I feel like that's really magical in this, abstract sense and in this really like tactile, real sense where you could then translate that into a poem that would then be for yourself to understand yourself deeper, to understand your experience deeper, or to understand for someone else that you're giving it to share your magic and your knowledge with them. So I like kind of dissecting that word magic because I think it could be really expansive. There's a lot of ways to talk about it.